Hello and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Box Seat. I'm Mark Ward. 8 races at Belmont on Wednesday. Let's have a look at the track conditions. We're expecting a showery day in Perth, around 18 degrees Celsius. The track to be in the soft range, maybe a soft 7, and the rail in the 20-metre position with a cutaway in operation in the straight. Race number 1 at Belmont on Wednesday will jump at 12:39. It's the TABtouch Plate over 1,200 metres for the 2-year-olds. The replay horse, going to look at Nemiroff, trialling at Larkhill.
On the track is Angelic Ruler, Blackwood River. Scenic Charm rolls off the inside now and works into the clear. Staying to the inside was Drop the Orange, and back to the tail of the field, Do It Pataki. Down the straight they run. Promiscuous Miss raced up on the outside of Nemiroff, who has a bit of a kick. Down the outside, Angelic Ruler's getting over the ground well, but Nemiroff has a kick at the 100. It leads out into second place, Angelic Ruler, and Nemiroff boots away to win.
That was a nice trial by Nemiroff, trained by Lindsay Smith. Taylor Stone takes the ride on Wednesday. She was in the replay trial. Has had 5 weeks between runs, did win that trial in their interim. The last start came back with an elevated heart rate, did beat Angelic Ruler in that recent trial, and I'm really keen on the pedigree here. It's full relation by decree, won 6 of 31 races, 3 out of 8 on the wet. We're expecting a wet track on Wednesday. Number 2, Nemiroff, goes on top. From number 3, Regal Council, third up, was unbalanced on its debut on last preparation. Over-raced both runs this campaign, was an improved effort last start, and has got some decent head-to-heads with Alcina and Alluring. Goes in for second with William Pike aboard. Number 6, Angelic Ruler, second up, had the fastest last 200 and 400 metres last start. Beat a number of these, including Alcina, in that race. Has also got some form, trial and race form, around Alluring and Nemiroff. Goes in from third, and he's from a nice family as well. And then number 1, Alluring, is first up off just the one trial, was well beaten by Regal Council in a trial back in December. My top selection in race number 1, going to go with number 2, Nemiroff, to beat 3, Regal Council, 6, Angelic Ruler, and 1, Alluring. Race number 2 at Belmont on Wednesday will jump at 1:14. It's the Amelia Park Beef Plate over 1,200 metres for the 2-year-olds. The replay horse, we look at Rebel Knight, winning a trial at Larkhill.
Knight, who might have the nose in front, and deeper out as Black Ransom, and then came Only a Rose, who's on the outside. Only a Rose, and Black Ransom is tailed off. So Only a Rose just in front of Rebel Knight. And on the inside is Hyperspace. Rebel Knight comes back at Only a Rose and wins.
Rebel King is first up off the one trial that we saw in replay. Was pretty green on its debut, then was also green and wide first up last campaign. And last time out came back Shinsaw and also had a brazen. So plenty of excuses for Rebel Knight. Comes from a really nice family and they all love the mud. I really like it here. Number 4, Rebel Knight, goes on top for Darren McAuliffe and Mitchell Pateman. From number 9, Snow Chino, one of the debutants here. Barrier number 3 for Paul Harvey to jump from. Has had 3 trials, 2 of them recently, and 2 of those 3 trials have been over just 400 metres. Was more than 5 lengths better than Regal Magic in the second of those 3 trials. Goes in for second. Number 3 is Midnight Rocket, trained by Team Williams, William Pike aboard in the Cerise and White of Bob and Sandra Peters. Debuts after the couple of trials, just one of those recently, and those trials were behind some good sorts as well. Amelia's Laboo and the Velvet King. Have to say though that the full sibling of this horse hasn't done much. 0 from 2 is Forever Famous. And then number 7, Pago Boy, is third up, over raced on debut. I thought it was a pretty poor effort last start, similar pattern but a slower time. My top selection in race number 2, going to go with number 4, Rebel Knight, to beat 9, Snow Chino, 3, Midnight Rocket, and 7, Pago Bay. Race number 3 at Belmont on Wednesday will jump at 1:49. It's the TABtouch Handicap over 1,200 metres. It's a race for the 3-year-olds. The replay horse, going to look at Portalian, finishing 4th at Belmont Park.
To race up on the outside of Metallic Queen. Dicoletto is back in the centre. Cool Dynamite is starting to run on. Down the outside is the Escort. Ancient Hope is trying to weave its way through. There's no room though, and Cool Dynamite has raced up with Dicoletto fighting back. Heart of Kaur is going to come late. Cool Dynamite is just in front from Dicoletto. Heart of Kaur, not many saw this coming, and Cool Dynamite wins by 1.
Nothing went right for Portalian in the replay race. Hit the barrier at the start, was slow away and then over raced, and did accelerate middle of the race, and it certainly took its toll late on with its late sectionals not being particularly fast relative to the race. He raced erratically 2 starts ago, but if you go back through this horse's form, I think his best run this campaign was certainly first up. That was over the 1200 metres. I think his 2 best runs have been over 1200 metres. So I like the fact that he goes from 1400 back to the 6 furlongs on Wednesday. And Portalian, in what is a pretty even race, goes on top. From number 6, Electric Light, he's second up, won on debut with the fastest late splits all the way home. That was a good performance after being slow to start. Number 7, Glasgow Girl, is another horse that won a maiden at Northern last start, led all the way and has never been out of the top 3 for Lindsay Smith. Randy Tan keeps the ride aboard her. And then number 1, Ken 2, was his 5th up on Wednesday, was wide last start and laid in the straight for the second race run. He was close to Portalian 3 starts ago. The knock on this horse, however, hasn't won anywhere other than Ascot. 2 wins, both at headquarters here. My top selection in race number 3, going to go with number 3, Portalian, to beat 6, Electric Light, 7, Glasgow Girl, and 1, Ken 2. Race number 4 at Belmont on Wednesday will jump at 2:24. It's the Perth Racing Club membership handicap over 1,000 metres. The replay horse can look at number 3, the Niconian, finishing second last start.
On the inside, My Demi's out wider. Oran Boy just behind him is trying to find a gap. And then came Rock on Tommy, who's down the outside still. Disruptive has got the lead from My Demi. The Niconian the inside, and Oran Boy is starting to come through, but Disruptive has got a clear lead from the Niconian. Oran Boy and My Demi. The Disruptive in front of the Niconian. Oran Boy and My Demi. And Disruptive does it well and wins it nice.
That was a pretty smart first up performance by the Niconian. Came into it off just the 1 trial. It was a Saturday race won by Disruptive very impressively. Now, Disruptive let that form down a little bit on Saturday at Belmont, but I still think the form is reasonable, certainly for this class of race. And I do like the fact that the Niconian drops from 1200 back to 1,000 metres. You look at the sectionals, I think that's a smart move by Neville Parnham. So number 3, the Niconian, goes on top. From number 4, Outstretch, he's second up on Wednesday, didn't trial, so it was a pretty good return behind deep cover on the 6th of June. Had the second fastest late sectionals after over racing. And if you go back through the form, this horse broke its maiden to win its only race on a soft 7 track at Pinjarra over 1,000 metres. Those are the type of conditions we're expecting on Wednesday. So it goes in for second. From number 1, the Futurist, having its second run for Rebecca Nairn, having previously been with Robert Smurden. Didn't trial, so another one that's open to improvement, and was wide last start, but still came home pretty well and beat 4 of the horses he'll meet on Wednesday. And then finally, number 7, Chisano. That's one of the horses that was behind the Futurist in that Northern race. Rates pretty close to the 3rd selection. My top selection in race number 4, going to go with number 3, the Niconian, to beat 4, Outstretch, 1, Futurist, and 7, Chisano.